You are entering the Flip2Freedom video experience.
Have I got your attention now?
You show me a pay stub for $72,000, I'm gonna quit my job right now.
Do you care to know why I earn the big bucks? But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something.
Now, your host, Sean Terry.
Hey there, Sean Terry here, Flip2Freedom.com, and we are back with episode number 150. And today we are case studying Christian out of Orlando, Florida. He's actually come from his new office that he's sitting in, and he is a great story because if you're a person where you're working a full-time job and you want to transition and quit your job and to go into full-time wholesaling, this is the episode for you because he talks about his transition, his process, how he got involved, how he got started, how he got his first couple deals, and then how he made that leap to go full-time. He said it was scary, said it was definitely intimidating, but he took that leap of faith because he had some success behind him. And then he follows the step-by-step. His first month out of the gate, what he did, how he did it, what he focused his time on, and the next thing, how to make it consistent. That was a really big question we had is how do you make the income consistent so you can rely upon it every single month, and now how to scale it. Start hiring the right people. He's got sales guys that are going out there, selling deals like crazy, acquiring deals like crazy. He has this one sales rep that's just crushing it, and he's going to kind of tell why that is. And I thought that was really intriguing. So Christian Del Torre, Alex Del Torre Christian, is actually did a great interview. He's actually at the point right now where he's has months where he's generating over $100,000 a month in revenue. Now I know that seems crazy. I know that seems amazing. Not many people even make $100,000 a year. He's done it in a month. And he kind of tells you how that happened and what's behind that revenue. Imagine knowing what's behind the revenue. So that's key, important aspect. So listen to the interview right now. I know you're going to love it. And we'll see you on the next side.
I was like, I'm done. This is not going to work. I give up. I've tried every single thing I could think of, and it's just not going to happen. And she's like, no, this is your dream. You're going to keep going. I don't care. Like, you're not giving up. And I told her that's the time I knew I was going to marry you. So, but I knew that I knew that you couldn't just say no. Like you were just gonna have to push through it and visualizing, telling myself that it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen was what kept me going when it was just a bunch of no's from sellers, or they were like, get out of here, stop calling me. What are you cursing me out because I'm giving them an offer that isn't what they want to hear.
Right.
So I to me, having the right mentality and being positive and seeing the outcome that you have is so important. Like, just the other day I was sitting down and I wrote my January letter for 2017. And I just stumbled on it and I looked at it and everything I wrote on that letter happened.
Everything you wrote on the letter?
Everything, I wrote on there, I'm gonna have 2 VAs. I'm gonna have an office in downtown Orlando in one of the skyscrapers. Here I am.
Here
I
you
have
are.
2 virtual assistants. I have a team of sales agents and acquisitions agents, and we're killing it here, making over 6 figures a month. Like, it blew my mind that I sat down at the beginning of January in 2017, just like you said, and I wrote down and I put on in March, in February, this is going to happen. I even wrote there, I'm going to get my broker's license in June. I'm going to take my test, and I'm going to pass it on the first time. I took my license in June, my test, and I passed it on the first time. And I was just like, I can't wait to write my 2018 letter.
I know it's like you tell people this and they seem like it's almost magic, right? This is like amazing, but it's the law of attraction, man. It's you put it out there and you put crystal clear what you want. You put it out in the universe and you move forward. And you be positive every single day. The next thing you know, things line up for you perfectly in ways that you can't even fathom or imagine.
Exactly.
And I forget about stuff. I read my January letter, and sometimes I forget about it. I go, oh, holy cow, I can't even believe that. It came true.
So it's all good. It's all got to be.
So okay, so now you've quit your job. You went full time. Now let's talk about your first. You're by yourself. You quit your job, and so there's a lot of people now that they're working a job full time, and they want to be able to quit and go full time. What did that first month look like? Was it like a roller coaster? Did you blow it out of the gate? That you were done being a firefighter. Now you're going full time on your own. You're done with the brokerage and kind of having their support. What did that first month look like?
It was nerve-wracking. It really was.
Uh-huh.
But I created systems before I quit. I had my direct mail set up on a consistent basis. I had leads coming in, so it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, because I was actually already kind of like, the train was already moving. It wasn't from the very first thing. I didn't just say I quit my job, I'm starting from zero. So to me, it wasn't that scared, because I did already have the momentum going in my business, but it was all because I spent so much time creating systems. I mean, I have Podio, I had the follow-up systems, I already had I kept track of my marketing and my KPIs, and I knew exactly how many numbers I needed to hit. So it set me up to the point where I was like, I'm good to quit. I'm not gonna go ahead and just do it, because I had a job. I know some people get laid off and stuff. Had I just been fired or laid off, I would have just been like, all right, well, I'm all in now.
I'm all in.
Point, your back's against the wall. You're either gonna fight, or you're just gonna curl up. And
right.
I'm always the fighting type. So perseverance is huge, in a quality I look for all of my employees is that, for them to be able to never give up.
Yeah, I think that's important, because that's why I always tell people, like, phase 1, get your first check. Phase 2, you go out and you get 1 year's worth of income in the bank as fast as possible. Now, if you do that and you get 1 year's worth of income for you, let's say it's 60 grand, now you have systems in place, you have your direct mail campaigns in place, you have your team in place, and now you've got consistency, and now you have the ability to quit your job and go full time. And you kind of took that approach, but you created that income, you had your systems in place, your direct mail campaigns, you understood your numbers, and then you went full time, which was pretty smart. Yeah. So, what did that full time year look like? So we know how the first month you kind of went into it. What did that first year by yourself as a solopreneur look like? And what year was that? That was 14.
That was in 2016.
16. Okay. So 16, you went full board for yourself. You're your own entrepreneur, working for yourself. Was it weird waking up that Monday and going, hey, I don't have to be anywhere? I mean, you kind of did that already, because you're a fireman. You didn't have to report every day. Yeah. But it's still got to be kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like, hey, I'm not doing what I've been doing for years anymore. I have my own time freedom. I can go in. I went to the gym. I woke up and I went to the gym, and because and then I was like, then I'll go to the office. I don't have to be anywhere at a specific time.
Isn't that a great feeling?
Oh, that is awesome. That's so awesome that you can just be like, look, I got stuff to do, but I want to get my health first. So I'm just gonna go work out, get my mind right, and then I'll go in and deal with all the stress that comes being a business owner and putting out fires everywhere and stuff like that.
Right. Well, I think that's important, because I mean, I do the same thing. I wake up and I spend a good hour just like working on my mind, you know what I mean? And just, really focusing, visualizing what I want and everything like that. And then I'll go to the gym for an hour and I'll crush it, come back, take a shower, and hit the office, and then off we go. But but you don't have to wake up and run to rush hour traffic like some people do. You don't have to wake up and roll out of bed, grab a cup of coffee, get in the shower and go. And now you have to deal with your boss all day long. This is something where it's just, freedom is amazing.
One of my favorite things is that, I'm able to make my daughter breakfast, and then I take her to school and stuff. And that's great. Another one of my daughter does dance. So I'm able to just get off work whenever, and I can go pick her up, take her to their dance and stuff like that, and just go to all her competitions and just be there. And that's one of the greatest things, is to be able to be there for my kids.
Yep.
Just the time freedom of, I schedule it around I schedule everything around what I want. And if she has to be somewhere at 3:00, I'm out.
Yeah.
Somebody,
I do the exact same thing, and it's amazing because I kind of take it for granted now. But as my kids have grown up, I take I schedule, when I do my schedule, I schedule all my family stuff on the thing first, on my calendar first, and then I'll schedule work stuff all around it. So we've got dance competitions, we've got my daughter's at tennis. My daughter would have tennis every day at 3:00 during tennis season. And I'd be there. I'd help set up. I'd help get the snacks and get all the stuff. I'd be there early, 2:30, setting up everything. And I'm the only dad there because everybody else is working. And they're like, well, what do you do? And I was like, well, we flip houses. We got a team of people flip houses, And, and I get to wake up in the morning, go to the gym and stuff like that. And my neighbor's like, what does this guy do? It's funny. We got a photo shoot downtown, and one of our neighbors is a photographer. And she's like, what do you do? Because I see you going to the gym in the morning, you're coming back at, 2 or 3 o'clock or whatever. It's like, what? And I'm like, real estate, baby. And she's like, I got to get my husband into real estate because her husband works in the car business, and he's one of the finance guys, and the guy's working from 6 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. He's just crazy. So.
Oh yeah. We had a guy that wanted to come join us, and he was like, I don't see my kid. I'm a car salesman, and I work every single day. And I'm like, it's like, you need to get out of there. That's not the life.
Yeah.
You need to be able to see your kids. I think, money's great, but I rather, the time I spend with my daughters is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Is priceless to me.
So how did you start? So you started doing your deals. You're a solopreneur. So you were taking all the phone calls, you were meeting with the sellers, you were going on the appointments, you were making the offers, you were getting the contracts, getting those contracts sold and closed, and you're doing everything yourself. What was your first hire?
My first hire was my virtual assistant. Mm-hmm. She was my very first one, and she helped me to take. She started taking the initial phone calls. She became my lead manager. She would. I gave her the script. She would kind of talk to them, find out a little bit if they were motivated, and then she would put it into Podio, and I would follow up with them. Mm-hmm. And I would have more conversation, see if they would qualify, try and get an appointment with them, and if it didn't work, then I would just pull them up on a follow-up system. So she was my first hire, was my sister. She did all my paperwork too. I trained her on doing all my MLS offers and doing all my paperwork for the MLS and contracts and addendums and everything. So, cool. So she took so much off my plate that
was she a local VA, a local, or was she like Philippines or?
No, the Philippines. Yeah, she's in the Philippines. So.
Cool.
So I hired her through a company that trains VAs.
Like My Outdesk or something like that?
It's called Ibis.
Yeah, Ibis. Yeah, that's what we use.
Yeah.
Ibis too.
Yeah,
Ibis kind of goes through My Outdesk too. Yeah, so it's good. Yep, same thing. That's company we use. We've had a VA that basically is she works all of our off hours, and then she's the backup to the backup. So we have 3 lead managers, a head lead manager, secondary in-office lead manager, and then she takes all the backup calls if they roll over, because we get a lot of inbound calls. So that's cool. So you that was your first hire. That took a bunch of pressure off, right? She set appointments for you, and from that point, was there a spike in your income at that point because now you had some more time?
Yeah, it actually allowed me to do to be able to increase the amount of leads that I had coming in, because at that point I had more time. I was able to handle more leads. So definitely we went from doing 2 deals to 6 to 8 deals a month because of her.
That's awesome. So then after that, tell me about your next hires that you brought on from that point.
So after that we hired salespeople. Mm-hmm. disposition agents to help us get rid of the properties that we were getting. And we currently have 4. We're looking to hire 2 more. And then after them,
4 acquisitions or 4 dispositions?
4 dispositions.
4 dispositions?
Yeah.
So how many acquisitions?
Only 1.
So you got 1 guy getting properties, and you got 4 guys, and you need 2 more to sell them?
Yeah. We make it competitive on the sale end. So our acquisition person is able to. So she's awesome. I mean, she's got our cost, our deal average insanely high, and our conversion rate right now. Like I was just looking at the numbers for 2016. Right now, it only takes us 15 leads per contract.
2017, you mean?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah.
So we're at 15 leads per contract, and our average deal size is 13,700.
Good.
But we create with the sales agents. They all have their own buyers list. They go out and put the bandit signs out. Each one has a requirement of about 100 a week. So we literally blanket the city whenever we get it, and then we do a group showing and have them all bring their buyers in at the same time and create this big feeding frenzy of people there, and have them upsell them and get into highest investment. We end up making more money, but it brings competition, and it comes from the brokers that we were with when we first started and stuff like that. They had 8 sales agents, and everybody could sell and everything. It's just we like that competitive thing, because when you just have one person and they just send out an email, and if somebody calls them and stuff and that's it, they kind of get complacent, and they're like, if it sells, it sells. But our guys are constantly following up on the buyers, and it gets fun watching them get a property, and they're like running out the door to go and try and get it sold and stuff like that, while the other guy's like looking over the shoulders like, hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm getting a sucker sold, man. You go ahead, sit there. I'm going to get it sold.
Yeah, exactly. So it keeps them on their toes. So yeah. So that's
how
why
do
we have a
how do you
bigger
compensate
team.
these guys? Do they get a base? Do they get a draw? Do they get just straight commission?
They get straight commission. 15% is their pay. 15% of the deal.
And then acquisitions, what do they get?
She gets a base pay plus a commission.
Okay.
So she gets a base pay of $1,600 plus 10%.
Okay. That's what she probably wants to move to dispositions.
No, she loves it. She gets every deal that comes through.
She gets all of them. She's crushing, and she's like, yeah. Yeah, it's one thing
So-
with Phoenix. Phoenix is so big. We have to break it up by east side and west side, because to go from one side to the city, the other side is like 2 hours. So for a 2-hour drive. So we kind of break up each side. We've got a couple different sales guys, and then they're competitive, right? Because they're trying to post their numbers and try to beat each other, which is cool. So
yeah, it takes 30 minutes from one side of Orlando to the other. So
so one girl can manage the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. So your operation right now, if you bring it to an option, so what does it look like? So what's your primary lead source that's driving the leads to supply to your inside sales guy?
Now, direct mail.
Mm-hmm.
Direct mail is our primary lead source right now.
And is there a list that you like, or do you hit like a big blanket list or a distress list?
No, tax default is my absolute favorite list. My last list I got from Rebo Gateway, John Harkar.
Yep.
He helped me out get the list, and their lists are awesome.
Yeah. So that's cool. So your tax default list, and you mail all of them every month?
Every month. I mail them all every month.
Every single month. Cool. So those leads come in. You're still your VA answer books appointments for what's your girl's name?
Amanda.
So Amanda turns around. She goes out on the appointments, brings back the contracts, and these guys turn around, and that's pretty killer. So those guys are crushing turnaround, selling it. So now, what do you think is? And do you use like a postcard, or do you use a letter?
We do both.
Yep.
Postcard. I switch it up every month. It's a different thing. So one, and I have written down like a sequence of what gets which list is in getting which postcard, which letter and stuff. But I switch it around and everything. Just use everything I can think of that can make me get a response. Yeah. I try.
Yeah, we've tried pink envelopes with yellow letters, pink envelopes, regular envelopes with branded letters, with postcards, with we test all sorts of stuff. That works really well. So you don't do any Google AdWords.
We do Google AdWords. We do.
But you you, direct mail is better.
But our direct mail is giving us the best response right now. Mm-hmm. But in the middle of the year, it was actually the Google AdWords was our best response. We were getting more leads and better ROI from the Google AdWords, but now it's kind of slowed down and it's switched. Mm-hmm. So we're about to add some cold calling, and we're going to hire a couple people here, just sit there and just cold call. Yep. So that's our next thing that we're going to add to the business to try and get these leads, because we're getting 0.5% response rate on our direct mail. Mm-hmm. So we're sitting here and we're like, well, we can increase the direct mail. We can dump $30,000 a month in mail, but if we're only getting 0.5%, what's happening with the rest of them? So we're going to sit there and just call these sellers and see if we can squeeze as much juice out of this lemon as we can. And then if we're like, okay, that's tapped out, let's increase more leads and bring more direct mail, and then we'll call more people and stuff like that. Right. Yeah, because that list converts. Now you just got to get in front of more people, right? That's the goal. Exactly. Right. Okay, so now to your company right now that's growing. So that's really been 16, 17... So 16, 17, these 2 years, it really has taken off from you and has built your company where you're sitting now. Now, how does 16 look 17, your 17 year? How's that looking? You think you'll project out by the end of the year? By the end of the year, we're probably going to be close to $500,000.
That's pretty good.
In revenue, yeah.
That's huge,
it's
man.
Gonna be.
Your own company doing $500,000 in revenue, that's some serious, that's some serious dough.
Yeah, and so we're pretty excited. Next year we're shooting for even more. I like to 10x my goals because that way. So we're gonna try and shoot for $3 million next year. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's insane. One of my partners looked at me. He's like, crazy.
Well, it all comes down to the leads. You will have to probably hire another acquisition person. That's normal and stuff like that. But
we're already working on that.
Yeah, if you take that spreadsheet, my revenue matrix spreadsheet, that's how I do. I've been working on that for now about 2-3 weeks, projecting for 2018. Just kind of I put all my sales guys in there and what their commissions are, and then what the splits are, and all that type of stuff, and figure out, okay, how many leads do I need? What our conversion rates are? And it tells you right there, plain and simple, how many, what you need to do. And then you just reverse engineer it all the way down to a quarterly and a weekly, and that becomes the relentless pursuit,
Still have that little spreadsheet. I just used it yesterday.
Yeah.
That's what I was working on.
You can modify it. You can modify it. You can modify it for all your 5 sales guys, your 5 dispositions, put your salesperson in there, put your VA in there, and just modify it and make the actual numbers 100%, make it compute. So that's what I kind of have done with mine, kind of put all my people in there and then what their salaries are going to be and what or their incomes are going to be. So it works out pretty cool. So what is going, would you say right now, what's going great in your business? What's like crushing right now? That is, is it the people that you have? Is it the systems that you have? Is it the consistent marketing that is creating your income consistency? But what is kicking right now? It's crushing.
It's definitely the systems that we have and the consistent marketing. Mm-hmm. Like I just talked to Amanda today, and she's like, I'm like, my God, why are you getting all these leads? Because we just upped our direct mail 3 months ago in October. Yeah. I increased it. I doubled what we were doing, And she's like, I've been working on these leads for almost 3 months now, and they're finally working. I'm like, I told you it takes about 3 months to clean out the list and get it working. You know, I was told by I don't know if you Jerry Puckett. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
No.
When I first started doing mailers, and he was the first mail house that I used.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, think of direct mail as a faucet that hasn't been opened in a while. When you first open it, you get all the rust, all the nasty stuff coming out. But the longer you leave it running, the clean water comes out.
Yep.
So he's like, when you first mail, you're gonna get all bad leads. You might get something good, but it's mainly going to be take me off your list, stop calling me, or I want $1 million for my shack downtown, and stuff. And he's like, but you have to consistently do it for at least 3 months, sometimes longer depending on your market. And if you continue to do that, you'll clean out the list and you'll get good leads, and that's where we're at. So I told her, I was like, just give it 3 months. You're gonna work your butt off. You're gonna get no's and all these leads, and then they're gonna work. And today she's like, all these leads are finally they're signing my contracts left and right. They're accepting my offer. She's like, I've been following up, and finally I'm getting everything. She got 3 houses locked up today.
Boom! That's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I got, and she has like another 4 more that she's like, I'm like, I'm losing track. What? Which ones are you even talking about? Like,
isn't that?
There's so many houses.
That's a pretty exciting thing. So you got, you come in the office. We do our Monday morning meetings. We come in and we bring 5 or 6 or 7 contracts in on a Monday morning meeting, and we're like, yeah, you know what I mean, just crushing. And we got 5 deals closing this week, and then you got 6 more coming in the next Monday, and about 4 more closing. You know what I mean? It just creates this momentum that's crazy. Oh
yeah, my sales agents were so happy because yesterday we got rid of all our inventory. Mm-hmm. Right now I have no houses for us to sell.
So that gets a hustle though, right? Because now you're like, we gotta go. Let's go.
Like, oh my God, what are we doing? We sold everything. Like everything we have gotten under contract in this past month, we have sold. And it was crazy. Yesterday we had a group showing. We had over 12 buyers at the group showing.
Wow.
So we got it on Monday, right? And we instituted the policy of we will not accept an offer until we get a group showing.
Right.
And we had to turn away offers. They were like, no, I don't want, no, I'll give you, we were asking 115. They're like, I'll give you 110. I'll give you 112. We're like, nope. And we had 12 people, and we ended up selling it for 116.
Sweet.
Right there. And it closes on Friday.
Yeah. So
Friday.
that's killer because you've got like, you're going to put it out for like 110 or 113 or something like that or whatever, or you could take 112, 110 or 112, right? But but if you ended up maximizing at 116, well, that's a $3,000 spread. If you do 100 deals a year, 3,000 times, that's $300,000 in revenue. You know what I mean? Just by taking, and you don't think it's a lot on 115, 113, it's not a big deal. But if you escalate that over 100 deals or even 50 deals, you're talking 150,000 a year. I mean, that's a lot of revenue. You know what I mean? So
exactly. So I was actually thinking about going live on Facebook yesterday at the showing and show everybody, but I got busy. So I think for the next one though, for sure, I'm going to go live on my Facebook.
Yeah, we had Brandon video one of our live things. We had over 100 people show up, right, at our thing. The place was a zoo, and we ended up bidding at $38,000 over our list price, and we already had a $25,000 spread.
Now that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an open cry, $100, $1,000, just going it. We had a contract, earnest money, and we have backup contracts. Yeah, so I mean, having that group thing is pretty killer. Kind of doing that kind of mini property launch.
Yeah, it is.
So what in your business right now is struggling, which you're having a tough time with?
Honestly, I would have to say the hardest thing right now would have to be dealing with personnel.
Isn't that funny?
That is the hardest thing right now is finding the right people for the right spot. Like right now, we need a second acquisitions person, and we just can't find them.
Yeah.
What we're looking for is just, we can't seem to find that right person. So the other ones is,
you got to visualize that person. They'll show up.
I know. I can't picture. I don't know what they look like. I have a mannequin in my head.
Yeah.
And then, the sales side with the other guys is, making sure that sometimes the negativity can run wild throughout the office if you let it happen. If somebody's having a bad time or this real estate thing, one of the things that I learned real quickly is that it's a roller coaster ride. Just because you sell a house doesn't mean that house is going to close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now, we're dealing with a house that we've been trying to close since August.
Mm-hmm.
The lady bought it at a tax deed, and she needed to do a quiet title. And we've been working with the attorney to do the quiet title. The buyer waited 2 months, and then he's like, I'm not waiting no more. If we don't close by this, I'm out. He left.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're like, well, now we got to find a new buyer. We found a new buyer, and we're just finishing up the title work. But, the sales agent's like, oh, man, I'm losing my deal. What's going on? This is horrible. I don't like this and stuff. And I'm like,
it's part of it.
It's part of it. It's part of it. It's
Yeah.
part of it. You can't, this isn't a random thing that doesn't happen. This is very common. Like, there's code enforcement issues. There's IRS liens. There's probate. There's so many different things that cause these people to be distressed that we just have to be able to problem solve and fix them. And it's a roller coaster. So,
and that's why your sales guys, they gotta have a lot in the pipeline going. That they're selling, that they're going to have coming closing up. We just same thing. We had a probate deal we contracted in August, and we literally just closed it last week for $50,000 deal, and we had to jump through roller coaster to get this because sellers didn't care. They were drug addicts. They were just like whatever, They were getting $125,000 cash, and we had to drag them to the closing table. I'm like,
wow,
because they were too stoned or whatever they were. It was just amazing. So, but. Guess what? You keep pressing forward, you keep moving forward, you eventually get the deal closed. So that's pretty interesting. Personnel is something that I hired in 16. I had 2 hires that were bad hires, acquisition hires, and it cost the company $378,000. You know what I mean? So I was in a rush. I didn't follow my systems. I was about to go to California at the beach house for a month. I'm like, okay, get these guys on, train them up, get them some leads. And by the time I came back in August, it was a bloodbath. And finally, we fired them in September. And between June, July, August, and September was about a $300,000 with the amount of leads that we had, the appointments we pen on, and stuff like that. And it was so it happens. It happens to me. And it's part. You get busy, you're doing stuff. You don't take that as a priority. And it, so now, I mean, I am really, when it comes to hiring, I am so far involved in that. It's like, that's where, because you can hire them and train them and get it right. Once you get it right, you're good. You're set.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like our Amanda, she's a beast. I'm like, can I duplicate you? Do you have a clone?
Does she have any friends? Do you have any friends that want to crush it with you,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, that's the thing. We tried it out. We had a second person in acquisitions, and it was the same thing. They cost us money because they didn't put in the time that they needed to.
Right.
They weren't following up on leads properly, and it was just it wasn't working out. We got them out of there, and Amanda took over their leads, and like 2 weeks later, she's locking up contracts on those leads.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hire slow, fire fast.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so to wrap up, last question here. A guy's sitting there, he's watching this right now. A girl's sitting here, they're in the Flip2Freedom Academy, they're watching this, they're listening to your interview, and they're going, they see you, they see your story and stuff, but they're kind of on the fence, they haven't got there yet. what is the best advice that you could give that person? So you're on the other side. You've made it. You've got a team. You're doing deals consistently. Yeah, you have struggles and you're going through stuff and hiring and stuff, but but you've got your freedom. You're working for yourself. You're living the dream. Your dreams are coming true. And then there's a guy on the other side that wants to be where you're at. They want to be you. What would you tell them is the biggest piece of advice that you could give them to help them cross that bridge?
The biggest thing that I would tell them is set a goal, research and learn as much as you can, and absolutely don't give up, but absolutely take action. Just take that leap of faith and just do it. When stuff doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. You're not going to get the perfect list. You're not going to get the perfect mailing list, mailing piece. You're not. Just take what other people have already done and just throw it out there and stay positive and work and learn from each thing, and it's going to happen to you. It's just a matter of time. Some people get it right away and some people take time. It took me 2 years. So saying that it's going to happen overnight, it doesn't happen, but don't give up. That's what I tell everybody. My daughters, anybody, do not give up. You better die before you quit.
Right.
If you really truly want to succeed and be in this position, you have to have such a burning desire that nothing else can beat that passion. And just get out there. Don't sit there and analyze everything and get stuck. Just throw it out there. See what the world brings you and pivot from that point and adjust and learn and you'll succeed. And you'll succeed. And you'll get to a point where you're like, okay, I've got this little bit. I need to go up a little, learn more. And you get into different masterminds. You connect with different people that are higher level, and you learn from them. Yeah. And it's just going to get better and better each time.
I agree 100%. It's like there's only two ways you can fail. Either you don't do anything, you sit on your butt and watch TV, or you quit,
Yep.
right? But if you take action and you never quit, you can't fail because you'll pivot and reiterate and zig and zag, and you'll figure out what works. And within the Flip2Freedom Academy and everything like that, we have everything laid out. If you follow it, and you use the letters and you target the list, the right list, you'll get results. You'll get people. And then when it comes to trying to close them and get them under contract, guess what? That's all learning process you can get better at. And eventually you'll get a deal and you'll know what it feels like and you'll sell it and you'll make a check and you go, oh my gosh, that was the simplest thing I've ever done. It's so easy. Why did I make it so difficult? I know. Exactly. And now you got contracts coming in, you got deals closing, and you're not even involved in the entire process.
Yep. You just get a check.
You just get a check, right? You just go pick up checks, or you get wires in your account. You're going and I pinch myself and I go, we get huge wires coming in for the week, and I'm saying, I was not involved in any of this process. I had a 90-minute Monday morning meeting, kind of did some direction. Next thing you know, I've got 150 grand wired in my account for the week. I was like, this is good. This is a good thing.
That's a good week right there.
It's really cool. So. All right, Christian, great job, man. I really, really appreciate it. You did a phenomenal job on the interview. Thank you for sharing so much. Thank you for getting in detail. And I hope the viewers and listeners loved this episode, number 150 with Christian out of Orlando. So here's the deal. If you want to know how he's done what he's done and the processes and systems that he has applied to get those results, you got to go to flip2freedom.com, flip2freedom.com. Go there now. I wrote a book. I got 150 different episodes, including this one, that you can listen to and has all the detail, all the how-to detail information that you're looking for, all the step-by-step process that you want to learn. Plus, it all has the mindset side of it too, which is incredibly important. So go to Flip2Freedom right now. I got a book there you can download. We got a bunch of other different cool stuff on the website, a great resources page that you'll absolutely love with a ton of great things that can help you in your business. And so go to Flip2Freedom right now, download that book. I'll see you on the next episode, and take care and God bless.